Traveller's Tales' second foray into Pixar's groundbreaking animated films, Toy Story 2: Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue, is a game which feels far more competent than movie tie-ins of the time. While that may not seem like much of a feat, it's a short yet sweet platformer which has enough variety, challenge, and colourful platforming to keep younger audiences thoroughly entertained. While platformer aficionados won't be rushing to replace their copies of Super Mario 64 or Spyro the Dragon, fans of the genre may still find it worth a look. The only disappointments come from the work done on this particular Dreamcast port. Taking place across 15 levels, there is a straightforward structure at play here. Each area has 2 traditional platforming levels, followed by a third which pits you against a boss. Normal levels will contain 5 Pizza Planet tokens, which can be earned through tasks in each level. Every level has an appearance from Ham, who wants 50 coins in exchange for a token. These aren't hard to come by, as they are both sprinkled around the level and dropped by enemies. The remainder are done through special tasks exclusive to each level, including fighting a sub-boss, collecting members of Sarge's platoon, and racing RC around a track. It's pretty basic stuff, but the tasks do vary between each level, with other characters doling out tokens for challenges. It's pretty varied. When Buzz's boots are on the ground, the platforming works pretty well. Buzz can double jump, grip onto ledges he just touches, and comes armed with a blaster. There's a lot of power-ups to be earned throughout the game too, allowing you to grapple onto special hooks, power up a shield which prevents damage, and hover for a limited time. Earlier levels often require these power-ups, but due to you not earning them until the latter parts of the game, you have to return. It's a neat way to incentivize replays, and Buzz's repertoire of abilities keeps the platforming action fresh for younger players. But not everything is perfect. Enemies are often manageable, but bosses can be frustrating with overpowered and spammy attacks. The only other shame is the brief length, as you can complete this one and earn all 50 tokens in under the 10-hour mark, with a meagre bonus of a few extra cutscenes as your reward. These issues aren't massive, but they do add up to a game which doesn't feel quite as polished as the best of its genre. Still, it's a cut above the likes of Bubsy 3D. Coming months after the original versions, Toy Story 2's jump to the Dreamcast is interesting, but flawed. The controls are a mixed bag, working well enough on the D-pad, but feeling very cumbersome on the analog stick. Thankfully, you can use either. There are also 2 camera schemes, which allow you to tweak how it follows your movements, with the default letting you rotate using the triggers. Despite the camera's flexibility, it can become stuck on objects like many platformers of the time, and feels trickier to handle on the Dreamcast's limited controller. The game would also, very occasionally, fail to respond to inputs, causing Buzz to fall to the bottom of a jumping segment, which can be frustrating. It's far from the worst port the Dreamcast would see, but it also feels like a missed opportunity to really take this game to the next level. Toy Story 2's only other letdown lies in its presentation, suffering from its no-frills port of the PlayStation version. While many of the levels are colourful, feature detailed geometry, and plenty of action, you can tell many of the character assets have received a mere touch-up from their PlayStation roots. The frame rate has a tendency to chop up during stressful situations, and there is a ton of weird texture bugs which cause the environment to flicker or disappear. It also has to be said the load times on this particular version are frustratingly long. The more disappointing aspect, and what is likely the result of Traveller's Tales having limited development time, is the chopped up nature of the cutscenes and story. Nothing melds into a cohesive whole, and the bit crushed audio is awful. The music though is damn catchy, relying on funky jazz tracks to keep the energy up, though the canned lines and repeated calls for attention from non-playable characters is grating.
Hey, Buzz! Golly, Bob, howdy.
Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue, despite these issues, is still more respectable than many of its competing movie tie-ins, though this particular port perhaps leaves something to be desired. It can suffer from a lack of polish and frustrating moments, but the dense levels brimming with tasks and activities will delight younger players. The solid platforming, variety of abilities, and varied levels will also please older players, though not to the degree that it will replace any of their favourite platformers. While it's a bit of a shame that it doesn't take advantage of the Dreamcast's power, you'd have to assume this was due to how closely it followed the previous versions, rather than a lack of effort.
To infinity and beyond!